Hi there, everybody. Welcome to our online health and wellness expo. Today, I am chatting with Robyn-Anne from Providore Markets. Welcome, Robyn-Anne. How are you?
I'm great, Hazel. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really well, thank you. Robyn and I met actually through the Venus Network, which has just been such a fabulous place for me to meet new people and do all these different things. And Robyn-Anne is one of those. And we've had some delightful conversations since then, haven't we, Robyn?
We sure have. Yep.
So, do you want to tell me a bit, or tell me, I know all about you. Do you want to tell the others that are hooked into this today just a little bit about yourself and how you came to have Providore Markets?
Okay, so I'm Robyn-Anne and I live at Bruntwood near Tamaheri. My other significant person is my husband Bob, and we have a berry farm here. I have two daughters, and each of them has a very small grandchild. One is 1 year old, and the other is 1 day old. And Bob has four children. It is exciting. Bob has 4 children, and he has 11 grandchildren. So 6 children and 13 grandchildren. So life's
busy.
I've spent a lot of my life working in the corporate world and have done a number of roles in administration and businesses, operational management. My last significant role was running a large IT system on the functional side, and I had 500 users.
Wow.
And I stepped out of that and set up a consultancy to work with horticulturalists, getting them into the NZ GAP program.
Okay.
And that's great. I love doing that. I love the information transfer between grower and me to the grower. It's really good. So Providore Market came about because one day I was just so frustrated at not being able to get what I wanted and needed in my house for food. So we are the family you don't want to have for lunch. We're full of food allergies. One person can attribute to yeast, sugar, wheat, rye and dairy just by herself, and then you chuck in a couple of celiacs and it all becomes quite difficult to feed people. So Providore Market was set up because there's some great products out there made in New Zealand that are just so hard to get, and there's all these boutique manufacturers that have such a passion for what they do. And I thought, I was actually driving between Tauranga and Cambridge, and I thought, how hard would it be to set up a business where we had allergy-friendly food on a website where you could clearly see what was in each product, that we never ran out of stock, that we supported New Zealand businesses, and we did eco-friendly packaging and looked for products that were in eco-friendly packaging. And by the time I got home, I was going to do it. So I did it.
Good on you. And with all your corporate world experiences of, administration and setting up IT systems and all of those sorts of things, and interfacing with growers and yourself and all of that kind of information transfer highway of stuff, all of that would have been so useful to support you in setting up your own business.
Oh yes, I really felt that I had enough business knowledge to understand the risks and the problems I was going to have. I mean, the other thing is that Bruntwood Gardens, that grows berries, that's been a part of my life for 25 years, but my husband's been doing it for much longer. And that has taught me an awful lot about business and business resilience, and when to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and not letting the knocks push you backwards.
I well imagine.
Pay forward.
Yeah. Any type of farming, be it berry farming, beef farming, anything like that. Like, you've got to have such an amazing amount of resilience to manage against the elements, and you just never know what's going to get thrown your direction. I was even just saying this morning to my husband, is it not nearly kiwi fruit picking season? We're not heading into.
It is.
And we're not heading.
We've got a little bit of kiwi fruit too, so it is.
There you go. How are those big? My mum lived in Katikati for quite some time, and she actually worked in the office for a kiwi fruit pack house. And I know that they had a lot of staff that would come in from the islands to help with the packing at the pack house and all those sorts of things. That kind of stuff is going to be completely different this year, and how. I could see how they could maybe manage self-isolating people while picking, but then how does the pack house then, you know, like it just, the whole operation is going to be such a different landscape to have to manage. So
it
yeah.
is, but the large pack houses are onto it and are making it happen so that the crops can be picked and can be dispatched out to the markets. So that's another thing, and this isn't in our what we're going to talk about, but I'm going to say this because I think it's good for us to hear. So we're all, you know, probably wondering what's going to happen to the economy, and you know, our small businesses are taking a hit, big businesses are taking a hit, everybody's taking a hit. But you know, agriculture and horticulture happen, and there's exports happening, and those are still happening. Those exports out of the country are still happening.
Oh, they are.
So
really good to hear.
They are happening. Our boats, cargo boats coming to New Zealand. Obviously, the crew can't disembark or anything, but and the crops are going to be dispatched out. So we're going to have our trade with China and America and wherever else our kiwi fruit go to, that trade will happen. So I'm really hoping that will help underpin our economy for us all to be able to get going again at the end of the day. And I think it's really unfortunate that this isn't being talked about, so that people like you and me and people watching this who are at home going, oh my God, what's going to happen to my small business? What's going to happen to my job? Can think, well, at least there's some business activity being undertaken.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? So, you know, there's a lot of people in New Zealand that are wondering where their next paycheck is going to be coming from. That, you know, for no fault of their own, the business that they have worked for however many years can no longer give them a job at this point in time. But maybe that's the silver lining here, is that there's still going to be work out there. Apples are still going to need to be picked. Kiwi fruit is still going to need to be picked. It might not be your dream job, but it's a means to some income once we're allowed to be able to move around. Or maybe it will be regional only. And so, you know, people will need to, in the Waikato region, will need to look to the Waikato growers for opportunities for business and those sorts of things, or, you know, for employment at least anyway.
So there's a lot of airline staff that are out there picking kiwi fruit at the moment.
Yeah. So is your kiwi fruit orchard? Do you get people in? Do you employ people to come in and pick?
So we're in a syndicate. We don't own a whole orchard. We're in a syndicate. So it's managed by a organisation who manages a number of kiwi fruit farms in the Puki area, and they have a residual of locals that they use and backpackers, and so the backpacker spaces have literally been filled by airline pilots.
Wow.
So one pilot said they were interested in talking to them, and he rang his mates and said it's a paycheck.
Yeah. That's
so
what it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's a positive to take out of talking to me, is that we're still exporting meat and fruit. I don't know about vegetables, maybe. Yeah.
That's absolutely fantastic. That's really really good to hear. And the one thing I'm noticing when I do venture out to go to the supermarket and shop for my in-laws as well as for my mum, we do the groceries for them as well, is that there's plenty of vegetables and fruit. So, you know, like there's no reason for us not to be eating really well, good, you know, nutritious, healthy food. We don't need to be on pasta and canned spaghetti or any of those sorts of things. You know, take the opportunity to eat all this beautiful, rich food that we have that's coming from our land, that will help with supporting our immune systems and keeping us well. So no, that's really fantastic. These conversations open up all sorts of different things, and I'm really glad you shared that, actually, because I was unsure. Because I know initially that the beef industry was struggling somewhat, because when we were in drought, the people couldn't get beef off the land into the meatworks, because the meatworks had their freezers were effectively full already, waiting to be able to get re-begin export back out to China, because China's such a big importer of our beef. So, you know, like, it's really good to hear that those chains of those export supply chains.
So China's virtually empty. China is virtually empty of their stock of
Wow.
food. So they, from what I understand from a friend who's heavily involved in the horticultural industry, is that they are restocking from the ground up to get their supply so that they've got something in store.
Wow.
So they are taking a lot at the moment, is what I understand.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's fantastic. That's fantastic to hear. Really, really great to hear that. So, so Providore Markets. So you have New Zealand made, all allergy-friendly foods,
Yep.
and
Eco-friendly.
ethically sourced, ethically
Yes.
packaged, all of those sorts of things.
Yes.
That
Yes.
speaks to my heart. We only have one planet and we need to look after it. So it's because sometimes you find these really fantastic products, but then they're wrapped in 16 layers of plastic, and you're like, getting to that's actually doing so much more damage than just eating that product. So so how long have you had Providore Market running, Robyn?
Okay, so this is 7 months.
Okay.
This is month 7.
Yep.
So we did a 6-month celebration last month.
Yep.
So at the moment we are closed. So I could have, I have applied for an exemption to MPI, and I got an email from them yesterday, and I was sitting here thinking about it, and I thought, you know what, we are all staying at home so that we can get COVID-19 out of our society.
Yeah.
The fewer people operating businesses, the sooner that is going to happen.
Yeah.
And yes, it is a big hit for me not to be open, but you know, I put it on the doorstep, the rural postie picks it up, takes it into the courier in town. The courier in town takes it to distribution. Distribution puts it in a pile. It goes from pile to pile to pile, goes on a courier van, gets deposited to someone else. And you just think the risk of it being contaminated by somebody who might have it on their hands, or a box that it sits on that's been contaminated, is reasonably high.
Yeah.
And I just thought,
it's real. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? If we can all stay at home, surely to God I can live without sending stuff out for a month.
Yeah. And look, I think that's a really, like, it would have been a big decision for you to do that, Robyn, but I think it's a really honourable one to make in the current circumstances. I know you're not the only one. Absolutely not. Those big decisions do need to be made, and you do. You take a big hit. You know, you're holding product that you've already purchased.
And I stocked up thinking that people would be buying from me because they couldn't go out. So that's you know, that was in hindsight not the best decision, but it's done. So whatever, I'll just carry it through for the next financial year, and
and
that's okay. It will all come out in the wash.
It'll all come out in the wash, and you have your health. You have your health.
Exactly.
Yeah. So your daughter works with you in the business too, doesn't she?
Yes. I've got a daughter who's got a creative technologies degree, and she was at home with her baby, so she has been helping me out once she was allowed to work again, with Facebook posts and Instagram and social media stuff. So it's been really good because you know, she's got a young person's take on it, I've got a slightly older person's take on it, and so I hope what we do appeals across the spectrum of age groups, and it's not just focused on one age group.
Yeah, no, that's a really fantastic approach to take. And then you know, because there's mums in the world, there's everything in between, you know, your daughter and you, there's a whole age group of generation there, and one of you will resonate with someone, whether it is the young mums that are starting to deal with a baby that's got symptoms and they're being told, oh, you need to be dairy free, or this or that or the other, you know, they will be in that network of your daughters, whereas people like myself and others that are dealing with older children that are now responding and creating symptoms, you know, you'll resonate with those as well. So that's neat.
Yeah.
And so it must be a real passion project for you, Robyn, like that you've.
Oh well, I just, you know, it's great because I saw my daughter move from always being slightly below par to being really on top of the world once we got all her health issues sorted out, and it was mainly allergies. She had significant health issues that she did need medical intervention for, but mainly, well, in the end, what made the difference was sorting out the diet.
Yeah. And so how do you want to share a little bit about how you finally worked out what her health issues were? Sounds like it was a long journey.
Yeah, so I wasn't quite sure what to do with her, and so my mum had been to someone who'd done Neuralink on her and diagnosed her with as being gluten intolerant, and so I drove to Auckland and took Kathleen to see Wendy Hamilton, and it was the most amazing 2 hours I have ever had. It was incredible. And so we came away with food allergy diagnosis, some support in herbal remedies, a shopping list, and a list of instructions on how to cook things. And Wendy was just amazing. And so it was hard. It was very hard for my daughter, who, you know, I don't know, if you don't know much about food allergies, I'll tell you this: when you have food allergy and you're coming off eating something which you're allergic to, you have terrible cravings for it.
Oh, and okay.
So, you know, as a teenager, she lived through all these cravings that were unreal.
Yeah, I imagine they'd be super intense.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it's great. You know, she's well and healthy and living a life, and it's good.
And I'm sure now that she's through all of that and she has a good understanding of her wellness and all of those sorts of things, that she's ever so grateful that you did keep pursuing to find an answer.
Yes.
And as much as her teenage self was probably not the kindest to you at times.
Oh no, I love teenage years. Teenage years were great. Because they can communicate well, and as long as you have I don't know, a method of engaging or rules of engagement or whatever for both parties, I think teenage years can be really rewarding, and I enjoyed them the most of all the girls growing up years.
There you go. Oh, well, that's fantastic. That's really cool. And just so wonderful now that you're providing this service to other people that are dealing with allergies, which seem to be far more prevalent now than they have ever been. You know, I look back to when I was a kid, and nobody, you know, there was the odd person that had a nut allergy, but you kind of were like, a what allergy? You know, no one sort of really was allergic to things. I have a fish and seafood intolerance where, you know, I just get, you know, just vomiting and can't manage that. But not other than that, you know, not really, people didn't really have allergies to dairy and wheat and gluten like they do now. So it is a whole new world, and I think it's a brave new world that you're stepping into to help people make that life and life change easier. So hats off to you.
Oh, thank you.
So your business is closed. So what are you doing with your time? Hanging out at home? Are you crocheting? Are you educating yourself? Are you sourcing new information? What do you do with your time?
Oh, it's interesting you asked about education, because I always do some self-education every year, but I haven't got anything set up for at this time. I usually go to seminars and things. I haven't got anything set up at this time. Actually, I have spent so much time out and about networking, growing my business, that my house needs some serious cleaning. So that is going to be a part of each day. I don't like cleaning. I'm not very good at it. I'd much rather be out there earning money. But anyway, I'll get into that. I've got, I play the piano, so I'll be playing the piano each day.
Oh, lovely.
I used to do Tai Chi, so I'll get back into that. I imagine I'll read some books and watch some telly, and I am supporting my elderly parents from afar, so some days that's more intense than others. Yesterday was took a lot of time getting them set up with a food box. So, you know, I know. I will have no problems filling in my time. I will
No,
get things
I'm
done. I
sure you
am an
won't.
extrovert.
Yeah.
I'm an extrovert. I love getting to know people and having great friendships. So this will be a challenge, but
Yeah.
that's all right. Challenges are made to be risen to and sorted
Well, I
out.
hope your introvert friends are checking on you, because you extroverts won't manage with this quite so well as the introvert types.
Yeah, no, it's great. My friends check on me regularly anyway.
Oh, good. Well, that's
Yeah,
good. As good
yeah,
as good friends should. As good friends should.
yeah, yeah,
But that
yeah.
sounds like a whole lot of nice self-love, and no doubt some self-development in there. And put on a podcast or something to distract you while you're cleaning,
That's
or
right.
something like that, so that the cleaning aspect isn't quite so much of a
Well, there are rules about cleaning. So yesterday I did the garage, right? So I did
Yep.
the garage. No,
Yep.
no, that's not the way it works at all. So what you say is, I've got 2 hours. I'm going to go down to the garage and see what I've got done.
Yep.
Right. So then at the end of 2 hours, you stop. You don't go back there that day,
Okay.
because who wants to clean all day? Yuck!
Yeah.
Terrible thing to do. There's other
Yeah.
things to do.
Absolutely.
So
It's good. I like your idea of putting time limits on cleaning. I do like that.
yeah. It's like working in the office. Like I think I've told you previously that I get up really early and do the jobs I don't like doing, like the accounting side of both businesses, and I put a time limit on it. I'll do 2 hours and that's it, and then I'll do 2 hours the next day, because to sit there and do something for 4 or 5 hours that you really don't want to do and you don't enjoy is just too hard.
Look,
So
absolutely, and I think, and then then you get negative towards whatever it is that you're doing, and
that's
look,
right.
we can apply that totally. You apply it to cleaning. I apply it to my children, helping them with their schoolwork. I'm like,
Yes.
okay, so between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, I am going to sit down and I'll do homeschooling stuff with them in terms of like worksheets with maths. So they're really great with their literacy stuff, and they could do that quite independently. But the maths aspect needs a little bit more hand holding, and particularly with my younger two. So I'm just like, no, that's the time I'm going to give to it. And the time might change each day, but it's like, no, there's a time limit in my mind. I don't tell them, but I just say it's a time limit in my mind. I'm not pushing it beyond that, because then it becomes unfun for everybody. So, and we just don't go back there that day, this is what we're aiming to do, but I'm not going to, like, if you're losing your marbles over something, that's not fun for anybody. So you just, we'll do what we can do, and then let them go. So we're not doing, for us, there's a requirement every day of a short amount of period for maths and literacy, regardless of whether it's Saturday, Sunday, or a weekday, or whether the education department has said it's school holidays.
Right. I think that's good, because I actually think what we need to do is get a routine going. So I have 3 things written down that I will do each day.
Yep.
And I actually have 4 things written down, but 3 of them I will do each day. And it's get on the cross trainer, go for a walk, do some Tai Chi, and play the piano.
Yep.
So of those 4, by the end of the day, I need to have 3 that I've done.
Cool.
Because they all tick different boxes for what I need out of life.
That's awesome. That's a really, really good way to look at it. Yeah. It's really good. And they are all providing you a positive something that you need. I think everyone could do something like that, just to, like, it's a list of 4. You choose on any given day 3 of those things. That's a nice way to think about it. I do like that there's no cleaning on that list.
No, cleaning is so thankless, isn't it? It's like mowing the lawns, apparently.
Well, I've never mown the lawns. My husband always does it. So I actually don't think he wants to teach me. That's the thing. He quite likes going along the lawns, so it's his
excellent.
time.
Leave it like that.
I'm leaving that with him.
So today I did a LinkedIn post about mental resilience. Because I think in this time there's a lot of people sitting out there in their houses. Their life has changed significantly, worried about their jobs, worried about their income, worried about their family, worried about the future. What will our life look like after all this? How long is it going to take? And so I did a post about mental resilience. So I think people should go on and read it. It's
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
it's about saying that mental health doesn't have great PR, but actually we all have mental health, and sometimes it's great and sometimes it's not. So here's an opportunity to check in and really think about how you are and how you're coping.
Yep.
And you know what? If you're not coping, tell someone, go and get some help.
Yeah.
Because these are different times, and we're not pre-programmed or preconditioned to know how we're going to feel through this. So I think we all need to make sure that we're okay, and we all need to make sure that our friends are okay.
I think that's really, really important, Robyn. Thank you for raising that. I'll pop your LinkedIn link connection thing at the bottom in the comments to this, so that people can find a way to that blog. I'll put that into the notes. I've made myself a little note there to do that after the video, so that people can find that and have a read about it, because our mental fortitude through this time will be challenged in all sorts of different ways, and those that were feeling overwhelmed or unsettled in their own mind space and headspace before all of this happened could really be sitting in a space that where they're not okay. And I think it is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that we are connecting in with our friends and picking up the phone, because you know what, they're at home, so you know, you're not going to be interrupting anything vitally important, or going, oh, I won't phone them now, they'll be out going for a bike ride or this or that or the other. Just phone them, just pick up the phone and phone them. So and
maybe that's something else I should add to my list. Maybe make sure I phone, you know, 2 people or 3 people a day to see that they're fine. Just check in and see that they're doing okay. People I know really well that will be honest with me, and then, you know, if they're not, help them find a pathway to find a solution. And if they are, well, that's fantastic, you know.
And that and just your phone call might be all that they need to actually put a smile on their face and go, oh, actually, you know, tomorrow's another day, and you know, I've been in a bit of a stick or a bit stuck right now, but just a conversation with a friend can often just change people's perspective on how they're feeling about themselves or where they're at on that day. So I agree, even if it's only one friend a day that you phone, at least then you're touching base with people and making that connection. I think it's vitally important. We are very lucky to have all the technology that we have at our fingertips through this time. Whoever invented Zoom, God bless him, they've done it.
It might have been a woman.
Yeah, it could have been a woman.
Girl power. We can do everything.
Everything. Yeah. Sometimes we think we must do everything. That's where we fall apart. So
that's why you mustn't learn to mow the lawns, Hazel.
Thank you, Robyn. Then I can't do everything.
That's right.
Unless I have to, and then I'd probably work it out.
That's right.
So you know, like we do have Zoom. Zoom's a fantastic portal to connect with people like we are today, as is WhatsApp and Skype and Messenger and all of those wonderful interfaces that we have. But the good old telephone also works pretty damn well as well, just to be able to connect with people and say hello. So I think everyone could do that. Just one person that you touch base with, even just a couple of text messages, and then pick up the phone if the text messages sound just a little bit off. Pick the phone up and give them a call. Don't be offhand about it.
Or if they don't text back,
then pick up the phone.
Text back.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's fantastic. Right. So Robyn, with Providore Markets, when we get to level 3, does that give you an avenue to open up and start operating again?
Yes, I believe so. That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be really fantastic.
I mean, it is a little odd, because today I sent a care package to my parents, and down the road from Bruntwood is Hautapu, and there's a country store there, just a little dairy. And they have a NZ Post agency. So I posted off my little care package for my parents, thinking, this is really weird that I can do this, but essential businesses can't send stuff out. This is really weird, but anyway, it is what it is.
At least
Yeah,
you're
I hope in level 3 I can get back trading. I mean, I could if couriers are overwhelmed and can't pick up then or cope with the volume, I could do it through NZ Post. It costs me double what it costs through a courier company, but
oh wow.
yeah, so if I used their un-eco-friendly packaging, it would be half the cost.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, at the end of the day, I want to be able to supply people with the products that I've got, because I believe in the products, I believe in the people that make the products, I believe in the supply chain to them, for them to get their products made. And I mean, if you wanted to go onto my website and have a look at the companies I've got there, you could Google them and find out their story and their passion. And I'm thinking specifically of 4 Square Soaps up at Mangawai Heads, a young woman who's set up this soapery. Her passion just oozes out of her website.
Oh, fantastic.
There's another one called Hunter Gatherer, and she's a Croatian lady who learnt to cook with her nana, and she's got the most amazing cake mixes. But her story as to how she got to want to produce these cake mixes is, once again, the passion just oozes out of the website.
That's brilliant. I love, you know, my wellness business is literally from a place of passion. So I love seeing that passion come through as well. And I think that's probably what drives me to do these things, to connect people with each other, because I'm just so passionate, and there's so many passionate people out there that can help other people. If creating this expo of people and showcasing and sharing these people across all sorts of people's networks, then that's a job well done as far as I'm concerned, because yeah, you know, passion behind a business and a brand, I think it makes all the difference.
Oh, absolutely. Without it, you've got nothing.
Yeah.
When I had a job that I got paid to do, I used to go to work every day wanting to make a difference. And so Providore Market is me wanting to make a difference for other people. And I've had a long journey with eating within food groups and cooking within food groups and making that food palatable for everybody to eat. And so I want to share some of that with people when they are on that journey to have great tasting food. I love cooking, I love eating. Gosh, if we can't eat great food, what is there in life?
Exactly. That's really awesome, Robyn. That's really awesome. So thank you so much for joining us. It's been lovely to chat to you and understand a little bit more about Providore Markets, what it is, how you operate, all of those sorts of things, and get to know you a little bit better too. So thank you for sharing you with us. I hope that what you have told us today has resonated with others. I'm sure there's people here that are listening that already deal with allergies and possibly didn't even know that Providore Markets existed, and no doubt will be jumping onto your website, which we'll put the details for and down in the comments, so that they can see what products that you do have available, so that when you are back up and running, when we get to level 3, when you're back up and running, they'll be able to be first off the ranks getting some orders from you. So thanks again, Robyn. I really appreciate it. I hope you go and enjoy your afternoon and enjoy your time at home doing some good self-care and just a little bit of cleaning on the side.
Excellent, Hazel. Thank you very much. Robyn-Anne Teal, Providore Market, Okay, thanks.
Thanks very much, Robyn. Take care. Bye-bye.